Hello again, everyone. I'm Patrick Wade with the Champaign County Joint Information Center, bringing you another video update. Today, we are with Brooke DiBello, a licensed clinical professional counselor and a registered play therapist from Carle. And what we're talking about today, so I think any parents with children have probably dealt with this to some degree already, but this is something that's going to be part of our long-term situation here, I think, and that's how to talk to kids about COVID-19. So could you start just by telling us how do we talk to kids about coronavirus and the new normal, since this is going to be likely to affect our lives for a long time here?
Right. I think first and foremost, it's important for parents to reiterate to their children that the changes that are being made are to help our families and other families stay safe. Parents, one of the biggest things they can do also is modeling things such as good hygiene, taking the necessary precautions when they're in the community. Kids will look up to the parents, and they're going to look at the cues that are being sent when they're having conversations with other adults, when they're watching the media. So it's important that parents kind of keep a balanced view. We don't want parents to minimize what's going on. We don't want to send them a message that, oh, it's not a big deal. But on the other hand, we don't want parents who are going to exacerbate the anxiety, letting kids know these are things that we can do to keep safe. And as a play therapist, I want to throw out there that I think it's really important to allow kids lots of opportunities right now to play. That's how they're going to express these feelings that they might not be able to express verbally to their parents.
Sure.
And then lastly, I do want to add, I've seen a lot of really great information online as for parents about how to talk to their kids, some really great tips. There's a lot of good books. So if a parent maybe, isn't quite sure how to go about that conversation, like I said, there's lots of great books that kind of help explain in a very age-appropriate way.
Sure. Okay. And so I wanted to ask you about masks too, because that's obviously a big visual of what's going on today. So is there anything we can tell kids about when we're out and we see everyone wearing the mask? And is there any way we can kind of make that part of our daily routine and our normal routine to make it a little bit easier?
Just making sure that you're always modeling that for kids, where it just becomes normal. And again, just that reminder that this is why we're doing this, to, keep ourselves safe and to keep others safe.
In case someone in our family gets sick, how can we help a child with seeing a parent or another family member who's sick, and how can that affect them?
I think naturally the child is going to experience, lots of feelings, anxiety, fear, worry, confusion, sadness, all that stuff. And I think, we need to, validate that. An important thing that parents can do is do their best to create a safe environment. And at home, through doing that, they're going to want to create predictability, structure, all those things that help kids feel safe anyway. It's even important more so to do that. Kids want to know what to expect every day. Again, that helps them feel good. And so, yeah, when they're feeling, scared about a family member, we want to have conversations with them. And I do want to add some information that I really like from Dr. Bruce Perry. He's somebody I've studied with in the past at the Child Trauma Institute, and he gives parents three tips for talking with kids. It's the 3 R's. And the first one is regulate. So make sure that your child is emotionally and behaviorally regulated. So you're giving them opportunities to swing outside, to jump on the trampoline, to color. All those are very regulating activities. So we want them to be calm. And then the next one is relate. So the parent is going to acknowledge and validate the child's feeling. You know, I understand that you feel scared right now, you feel worried. Well, that's a normal feeling to have. And then, you know, you can help them cope. Well, sometimes when I feel worried, it helps me to write my feelings out. And then lastly, the third R is reason. So that's where you sit down with the child when they're regulated and you answer their questions. And you want to make sure, of course, you do that in a very age appropriate and developmentally sensitive way. So that child always knows I can go to mom and dad when I am feeling this way.
So obviously at some point we're going to get back to school here, and whether it's in the fall or whenever it's appropriate. So how can we prepare kids to that return to school?
Well, firstly, parents knowing that all transitions are difficult for children, regardless of the fact that we're dealing with COVID-19. So even if they're returning to the same school and they're just moving up a grade, there's still some anxiety if they're moving on to high school. So I think we have to expect some anxiety, and it'll be exacerbated by, again, not knowing what to expect. So we want to prepare kids as much as possible to find out changes that maybe are being implemented in the school. You know, really kind of review like, oh, I'm sure hand washing is going to be really important to do there. So to just give them an idea what to expect, because when kids feel more in control and they know what to expect, they feel safer.
Sure, that makes sense. Well, thank you very much for joining us today. There's a couple last resources that we always like to mention when we do these videos, and that one of those is the website at champaign-county-covid19.org. You can find a lot of local resources there, local information, and also 211. 211 is a resource provided by the United Way of Champaign County. You dial 211 and you'll get hooked up with the trained specialist who can, if you're in need of assistance, you can sort through some of those resources available locally, and they'll help you do that. So thank you, Brooke, for joining us today and answering some of our questions. And thank you to our viewers, as always, for watching and staying informed. And we'll see you next time. Thank you.